This video is about self-help writing task 1, email mastery. Most people see the word email and think, easy, I send emails every day. But then the timer starts and suddenly your brain goes, wait, formal or informal? How long should it be? Do I need big words? Relax. Today I'm going to walk you through the real exam style process step by step with a live example. Not only that, I'll give you insider tips to boost your score. By the end, you will know exactly how to write an email that self-help examiners love. Let's move on to the first step to understand the task. Self-help writing task 1 always asks you to write an email, usually about a complaint about an apartment, service, or a work issue. A request could be about information or help or permission, or it could be an explanation about rescheduling, apologize, or to clarify something. And here is an important factor. Identify the tone. You have to identify whether is it formal or informal. If you're writing to your boss, teacher or manager, it should be informal, right? If you're writing to your boss, teacher or manager, then it should be formal. But if you're writing to your friend or to a family member or to a colleague, then it should be in informal or it can be a casual email, right? So don't mix the tones. A formal email should never start with, hey buddy, and an informal one shouldn't sound like a legal document. So let's move on to the next step, which is quick planning. Before you type a single word, you have to spend 30 seconds in planning. Ask yourself three quick questions. The first one is, what's the main problem or request? Why does it matter? That means the impact. And what do I want the other person to do? That's your skeleton. Don't write without it. So, here are some of the factors that you need to focus on while writing this task 1. We call it as a scoring lens. The self-preparators aren't looking for fancy, poetic emails. They score you on four things. The first one is content, second one is organization, third one is vocabulary, and the fourth one is grammar or mechanics. When we are talking about content, it means like did you answer every part of the question, whether the problem, impact, or request? And organization, is it clear with short paragraphs? And when it comes to vocabulary, do you use natural, varied words? Not the same word repeated, right? And when we are talking about this grammar or mechanics, are your sentences correct? No run-ons and no missing punctuation. So if your email checks all four boxes, then you are already in the high band range. The next one important thing is timing. You only have 27 minutes total for both tasks, but task 1 usually gets around 10 to 12 minutes. Here is a good split. Take 1 minute for reading and plan, and 7 to 8 minutes for writing, and 2 minutes for editing. Trust me, the last 2 minutes is gold. So you can check, did I use the right tone? Did I cover the problem, impact, request? Are there any spelling errors? So you can use the last 2 minutes efficiently. And when we are talking about the vocabulary boosters, for example, in formal email, you can start phrases like, I'm writing to request, or I would appreciate it if, or could you kindly, so on, right? And informal email, you can use these type of phrases like, just wanted to check if so and so, can you please? Thanks a lot for helping. So these are some of the example phrases where you need to focus on the tone for formal and for informal email. Mixing formal and informal words is a classic self-help mistake. Imagine writing like, hey bro, I'm writing to inform you of a serious issue. That's confusing, right? So keep the tone consistent. And the next one is golden phrases that save your time. You can add these exam hacks. Okay, first one, when you're explaining a problem, you can write phrases such as, I'm writing to bring to your attention. And if you want to show any impact, This has caused inconvenience for many residents, especially so and so, and requesting action like I would be grateful if you could, or could you please arrange so and so. And please close it with a polite closure. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. Okay, so these are some of the example phrases where you can memorize for each part, like where to show an impact or requesting action. You can just memorize 2 to 3 of these phrases. They fit almost any formal CELPIP email and save your time. Okay, let's see some of the common mistakes which will lower your scores. Let me warn you about the mistakes that kill self-help scores in task 1. So please make a note of it. Writing one huge paragraph with no breaks. Don't do that. And forgetting the subject line. Remember, there should be a subject line, okay? And making the email too short, under 120 words. Please don't do that. And sounding rude. Examiners hate that, remember. And using texting language like how you text, like U for why will you, BTW for between, ASAP. No, please don't do that. Okay, let's do an example. Here is the prompt. You live in an apartment building. Recently, the elevator has been broken for several days. Write an email to your building manager to complain about the situation. Include the problem, its impact, and what action you would like. If you want, you can just pause the video, read the prompt, and try to incorporate whatever we have discussed so far and come up with your own response. Now, let me show my response here. So this is my sample email. Dear Mr. Peterson, I'm writing to express my concern about the elevator in our building, which has been out of service since last Friday. Many residents, including families with young children and elderly individuals, rely heavily on it for their daily routines. Personally, living on the seventh floor has been extremely challenging, especially when carrying groceries and other items. I have also noticed several senior residents struggling to use the stairs, which raises safety concerns. I kindly request that you arrange for the immediate repair of the elevator and inform residents of the expected timeline for completion. If the repair will take longer, perhaps temporary support such as assistance with groceries could be arranged for those in need. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter and sincerely you can write your name. I'll tell you why this response gives you a high score. First of all, we have started with the greeting. Okay, dear Mr. Peterson. In an informal email, it could be like, Hi Peterson. But this one is a formal mail, right? And if you see the first paragraph, I'm writing to express my concern about the elevator. So, what are the issues that I have? Make it straight to the point. So I did not waste words like, How are you today? I have just stated the issue. And in paragraph 2, I have shown the impact, right? This is where examiners see your ability to explain the things logically. I didn't just say the elevator is broken. I have added examples like families, senior residents, safety concerns. So this means it adds weight. And in paragraph 3, I made a specific request. I didn't just say, please fix it. Be polite but firm and suggest solutions. Remember that. Remember to keep it around 150 to 180 words. That's the sweet spot. Too short means it's very weak, and if it is too long, also time wasted. And try to avoid the exaggeration. Like, don't say this is the worst building in the world. Be realistic. Examiners reward clarity, not drama. And use linking words like because, as a result, in addition, therefore, because these words make your email flow naturally. So, task 1 is not about fancy English, it's about being clear, polite, and structured. Remember my golden formula. First one, you have to state the problem, then the impact, after done with the request. Okay? So, that's all for today's video. Kindly like and share for more self help videos. Bye bye.